Hey, good morning guys, I'm the Tech Prepper. Hope you're all doing well. We're out here on location and I want to do a quick video on my limited experience with StarLink RV. And really, before we get into that, I need to set some context. My wife and I moved to a rural area in Arizona 2 years ago, and the only utilities we get are electricity. Actually, the only utility we get is electricity. And we don't even have cell phone coverage. So what we've done for the last 2 years, since I have to work from home, is we found a local company, RVer, that provides a microwave dish service. And on the top end, they claimed it would be 50 megabits, but over the last 2 years, we never saw more than 25. And in the last 6 months, since more people have been moving from the city into our neighborhood, we're seeing about 5 megabits tops. And then on the upload side, I'm getting like 150 kilobits. So I can barely even take a video conference call anymore to work from home. I basically have to switch just to audio. So with that said, I had ordered StarLink about 18 months ago and have been on a waiting list for that 18 months. So about 3 weeks ago, StarLink reached out and said, hey, you're still in a wait list area. We don't have full coverage where you are, but you can get StarLink RV now. And I ordered it. It came 3 days later, and it was super simple to set up. I paid $600 for the hardware, and then we're paying $135 per month for the service. I got up on top of the roof using just the pedestal mount. I haven't mounted it yet permanently. And as soon as I went through the application setup on my phone, it basically acquired the satellites with no obstructions. I was getting speeds up to about 175 megabits per second. So it was fantastic. I will tell you, over the 2 weeks at home, I did notice that the bandwidth speeds would vary. Sometimes it would drop as low as like 20 megabits per second. But for us, being in a rural area, being used to having suboptimal bandwidth, it was better than we've ever had before. But in general, I would say we're probably in about the 100 megabit range. The only downside I've noticed, even though the latency is very low, it's typically less than 50 milliseconds, we have noticed sometimes where we'll lose the signal and it drop just a bit. So for real-time applications like video conferencing and those things, I do notice degraded service, but it is very usable. And like I said, occasionally it will fluctuate anywhere from that 20 megabits to 200 megabits, and that's fine. But the real power for us now, especially as a prepper, as someone who has an RV and likes to do overlanding, is I can bring the StarLink RV with me on the road, and it's very simple. So let me show you what I have set up here. I basically decided not to mount it on my roof, mostly because I want room for solar panels. So I have a 2-inch receiver hitch here, and I ordered the 8-foot ground pole from StarLink, and it comes in 2 4-foot sections. So to make sure it seats properly, I have a PVC reducer. This is a 2-inch to 1.5-inch reducer, and it goes up pretty nicely. Right now it's oriented north. And then I have it running into this little compartment here. They give you 75 feet of cable, and then there is the wireless router. And we're actually taking basically care of ourselves and our travel mates with this right now with this Wi-Fi. So I have a little bit of work to do on the RV to reroute this and permanently hook stuff up, or at least give it a semi-permanent home when it's on the road with us. The other great thing about this setup is that I also have a Jeep with a 2-inch receiver hitch, so I can also take this on overlanding trips. Now, really all I have to do is climb up on top of our roof, lower down the StarLink RV dish down to the ground, and pack it up. The one thing you do have to do before you do that is launch the app, and they have an option called stow, and it basically will just orient the dish vertically so that you can put it back in the box. So guys, this service isn't for everybody, especially if you're in the city. I know it has a cool factor, but it's really designed, in my opinion, based on what I'm seeing, for people that have been bandwidth challenged forever, live in rural areas, and just need a good way to have some internet in their rural home or on the road. All right, guys, well, I'm the Tech Prepper. Oh, one more thing. This has been a game changer for us, especially when we brought our Fire Stick or Apple TV. We're able to relax in the evenings and stream Netflix, Hulu, and all of those services. So for us, even though it's $135, we're getting a lot of return on investment. All right, we're gonna get back to my normal ham radio operations after this video, but I just wanted to share with you some brief experiences I had with StarLink RV. I'm the Tech Prepper. Be strong, be safe, and be prepared.